Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Memes of the Week. The best thing you can do for this channel is spank the like button before watching this, so that it reaches a wider audience. Also, before I get on with the memes, first a word from today's sponsor, the MGTOW book collection part 2. Whether you're getting camel toe in Cambodia, banging babes in burqas in Turkey, or taking Polaroids of ladyboys in Thailand, Luca Vendetti has a series of books to make you live the dream. His new 3-booklet series includes How to Live on $500 a Month in Cambodia, Turkey, and Vietnam, in addition to his classic How to Retire on $200K in Southeast Asia. He also has the MGTOW book. Visit MGTOWbooks.com and use the promo code Sandman to get 10% off. Now available in 4 formats: PDF, Mobi for Kindle, EPUB, and text-to-speech MP3. Sponsor link is down below. And now on with the memes. Number 1, now that it's snowing in Canada, this is what I have to look forward to while driving at night around town. Girls that are too cheap to pay for the coat check at a nightclub leave their jackets in their cars before they go clubbing. Yet these same women call men cheap for not buying them overpriced $20 drinks. Not even a foot of snow stops 304s and high heels in this city. Up next, I have some unfortunate news. Julie Powell, the writer behind Julie and Julia, has passed away at 49. She was against the anti-jibby jabbers, and maybe God had a funny sense of humor, and made this cell phone. She said that the Cocoa Puffs was taking out some of the right people. I have no sympathy for someone that didn't have sympathy for others. Number 3 is the exact same woman. In one outfit she supports Trump, and the other, she's just in a plain old shirt that says pizza. Guys are so gullible falling for women that project the look that certain guys go for. The guys mistake a woman's hat and t-shirt as sharing the same value system as him. She has her own value system, and it's all about exploiting men for their resources and attention. Moving on, we have the typical female stand-up comic. She's humorless and talks about her bra, her period, and blames men for everything. You'll usually die of boredom before she makes you laugh. Nature didn't gift women humor because all they need is beauty to get their genes to the next generation. The only laughs female comedians usually get are because people want to be considerate of their feelings. I haven't seen a single female comedian beyond Roseanne Barr that's actually funny. Number 5, we have an article saying that women are more dishonest than men. That women are more likely to tell everyday lies. The first lie she probably tells you is that you're the only guy I ever let nut inside of me on the first date. Talk about news that everyone already knew, since the dawn of time. Always assume that everything they tell you is a lie until you can prove it otherwise. Here's Exhibit A. They lie with makeup before even saying a word. Up next, our society cringes at 200 guys that can't get a girlfriend in a private forum. But that same society is happy when millions of radical femmes wish the end of men on mainstream platforms all day and all night. And many women wonder why men these days are just interested in building up their savings and leaving society, and leaving them to their boxed wine and cats. Number 7, we have Scarlett Johansson, wondering why she's giving an autograph on a marriage certificate. She's 35 years old, already divorced once, and was a single mother. Now she's had another kid with husband number 2. Will she go for a third? She also friend-zoned Chris Evans, embarrassing him on Twitter, and yet this is the Poindexter that she's currently married to. Moving on, Jennifer Love Hewitt was once told by a director to act sexy at the age of 23. She's probably just upset that no director is asking that of her now. She adds 23 to make it sound like she was an immature child or something. In other news, a drill sergeant once asked a soldier to act tougher at the age of 18. But let's give poor Jen Hewitt a break. She didn't get Weinsteined and probably feels left out, so this is the best that she can do to be a victim. Number 9, in Switzerland, they now have a pod that you can get into legally that slowly fills with nitrogen gas, lowering the oxygen levels and ending the individual inside. Instead of celebrating this, how about we celebrate this Australian man named Don Ritchie? He lived across the street from a spot where people would end themselves. He saved 160 people that were ready for the end of this cruel, cruel world, all simply by striking up a conversation with them and inviting them home for tea. Unfortunately, he ended up ending himself. Just kidding. He lived until he was 85 and natural causes got him. Up next, we have Rose from Titanic with her life about to end. Instead of her kids and husband, she remembers a homeless dude that she banged on a boat. Millions of women consider Titanic the greatest love story of all time. What does that tell you about them? That most women still think about the alpha-looking Chad that got away, and that they're alpha widows for the rest of their lives. Number 11, even with all the AI out there being programmed not to be offensive, it still was, because a beauty contest was judged by AI and it didn't like dark skin. I'd like to see the feminists say that this was unconscious bias when it isn't even conscious. Unfortunately, the AI did end up selecting contestants that weren't the gender they were born with. Just kidding. Here's an image from the beauty pageant with all the gorgeous runners-up. Looks like we have a based AI. Moving on, which face do you prefer? The natural one on the left or the plastic surgery one on the right? It's really a trick question because the woman on the left also has her hair and makeup done. It's just more plain colors. These are just two different disguises to attract two different types of guys. Yet in the comments I keep seeing guys say that the girl on the left is more attractive and wholesome. Number 13 looks like Megan Hall is back from a year ago when she went down on the entire police force. Unfortunately, this Disney parody didn't quite get her Charlie Brown head quite right. She may not always be using protection, but she's definitely serving the community. But the original version gets her rounded head quite right. Up next is Butcher telling Homelander's son to always remember that simps are responsible for creating a generation of threes that think that they're tens. But it's more than just that. Makeup, hair, and plastic surgery give them up to 5 or 6, and Tinder and social media boost them another 2 points because of all the attention they receive. The simps are just the icing on the cake and give them 1 or 2 sexual marketplace points max. Number 15 are 2 women 40 years after they were young. We all definitely know this is fake, but it's probably going to be reality for them in another 20 years or so, if they make it to their 80s. Moving on, a woman says that if a woman sleeps with 10 men, she's a slut. But what does that make him? Someone pipes in by saying gay. He's gay. As in happy, I suppose. But seriously, if a guy gets together with 10 women, he's a gangsta Chad. It just proves to women that he's a good catch. Women are so desperate to be like men to prove that the higher their notch count, the higher their value, but the poor things their campaign to destigmatize sleeping around has backfired on them. Number 17, a woman posted that if you want to have a baby with her, you're going to have to give her £250,000 salary each year. For half that price, I could get a child delivered to me through surrogacy. Looks like modern women are now trying to create a job out of creating a family. Here you also have proof of a woman using her own children as a cash machine. At least she's being obvious about it. Being a loving mother is too old-fashioned now, I suppose. Up next, this landlord was going to evict a college girl because she didn't pay rent for 3 months. He offered her free rent if she would paint the building and clear the snow every day until February. She rejected that offer and offered instead to smash him for $4,500. He laughed in her face, and it surprised them that a woman would rather bang a man that she isn't even attracted to rather than doing some honest work. I hope he took her to court and kicked her out. Number 19, we have the richest woman in the world, Mackenzie Bezos. Looks like she's got quite the gums on her and is missing her upper lip to boot, and her $40 billion net worth comes from a divorce. After looking at this face, I know why Bezos was having an affair on her. But for her, it was probably easy money dropping her neck, and it looks firm and fit like it's been busy. Moving on, a woman's testimony is that she went from doing Lonely Fools, which ruined her life, and now she says that she's found God. But do you believe her? It's a good thing that God forgives, but people certainly tend not to forgive or forget. She's looking for some right-wing conservative at this point to come and save her as well. Why do they always do this when their plan for world domination through Lonely Fools fails? Number 21 is what it looks like when a woman gets a broken heart when her man leaves her after she cheats on him. Woman hurts man, woman most affected. She's just sad that she got caught and not sad for what she did. These are also defensive tears. She'll try and make others feel pity for her and try to use them to turn her mutual friends with him against him. Up next, it's time to remind everyone that in 26 years, the WNBA has never turned a profit, and that it's a welfare program for super tall women. I bet they also want equal pay now. Even one of the men's mascots makes more money than the top paid WNBA player. The NBA pays for the entire women's league, and yet they still complain that they get to play basketball for a living and they don't even have to earn any money. Number 23 is another tradcuck thinking that if he gets a less used younger version of the same woman, that somehow she's wife material. They all turn sour in the end. Also, anyone that sees wife potential just based on what a woman looks like needs to have his head checked. But it is true that the ones that have been with tons of guys have those empty eyes. They seem to be more mature, but the only thing that's more mature is her cooch mileage. Moving on are 3 couples that all switch partners for a wedding photo. And if they were a human Rubik's Cube, they would actually be only one rotation away from being solved. I think I saw this film before on a spicy content website. I wonder if a human Rubik's Cube would be this easy to solve in the bedroom. Number 25 and the last one in Inception, Leo has a wife that's roughly the same age as him, thus proving that everything was a dream. But for him, it's no dream, it's a nightmare. I seriously wonder how grossed out he was with Lily Gladstone. That's not a nightmare for him, probably more like a night terror. This is what equity, diversity, and inclusion Oscars get you these days. Plain fat women with Hollywood's most eligible bachelors. So that's it for another Memes of the Week. Please give this video a like to push it up in the algorithm and so that new viewers can find it. Also, if you enjoy this series and want me to keep on making it, then please donate at the PayPal and Subscribestar links below, and that's about it. Anyways, enjoy the rest of your day, and cheers.